What's up, everybody? I wanted to bring you the way that I start off with any new formation tactics training so I can improve, and then when I get into real games, I will be fully prepared and ready to dominate. Now, think of this like practice for not just football, but any sport. Many times you do passing patterns or scrimmages, and you're doing these things so you get used to the tendencies of the players on the team. What passes are most likely going to be open? The best way to take the ball from defense into creating a scoring opportunity for yourself, right? The best way to drive the inline and find the best option, right? Where is that player going to be more often than not? All these things become muscle memory, become like second nature. So when you're in a pressured situation, you're then able to find more success. So that's what it's all about, is using this as a way to be better when you go into matches. It's as simple as that. Now, to get into where you want to go, just right off the main menu, you go into Play Local and Local. From there, you select your teams. Obviously, you're going to choose your team, and then sometimes it is handy to play yourself. Now, this Adidas UFL team is very good. That's who we play here. But you absolutely can benefit from playing yourself too, because sometimes you actually find some things out that could be helpful that you didn't even notice about your own team, and you see the AI doing it, especially when you're on that hardest difficulty level, which they absolutely did a great job with. So it can be handy sometimes playing your own team for sure. And once you have the team selected, you then look at the bottom and you press triangle for match settings, and you go into the difficulty level. Now, it absolutely is helpful to start off at easy, because you're just trying to get in the run of things. Think cones at practice, right? Right off the bat, especially when you're doing something new, right? You take it easy pace-wise, and then you pick it up as you get better at it. So you can absolutely do a run-through on easy. You can even go medium. And then you definitely want to go to hard, because for many of you, the hard difficulty level now is going to be better than a lot of your opponents. So that's a good thing, right? Once you're ready, it can prepare you the best way to then go into a game, and it's always best when you go into a game and it's easier than training. That's when you're going to have the most success. Now, for others, the difficulty level on hard still isn't going to be able to match the level of your opponents, right? Especially if you're at the top of the ranks and you're playing the top level opponents. However, playing on hard is important because it just picks up that speed. It gives you a bit more of a challenge, gives you more of a realistic timing, right? So you can't just sit on the ball and get used to lolling around too much. So I definitely would start with easy for sure, no matter what level you are, just to feel out the formation, see certain things, and then work your way up to the hard difficulty level. And it's all about just repetition. So we're going to look at examples from the 5-2-3 and how this kind of training can help you. Now, the very last thing I want to note, put the minutes on however long you want. If you don't want any break and you just want to kind of feel out the formation for a longer period, change that around. Just a little side note. Now, again, I am looking for different tendencies, certain things that I can utilize in a game that will help out, certain patterns, right, in the build-up that are the most successful, that will get me in the most dangerous positions. So you see here, that was off a free kick, but I'm quite easily able to drive the line and bury it with my striker. So the most obvious thing there is the run I was able to make with my winger, and then the location of my striker, so I can have my eyes ready for him at that top just beyond the 6-yard box area for the cutback pass. Now, things that players might not look at there are things like what other players were open in case that play wasn't on, right? For instance, if I drove inside there instead of went inline, Dumfries had that open lane to then overlap and go into the run and maybe play a cutback pass. Also, look at my center mids were open in that area too. I can just scout out the area and see, okay, this play worked, but what other options do I have as well? So you get the premise, but some other things to look forward. Obviously, we talked about the attack. You're looking for the best way to create dangerous opportunities and who else is open, kind of alternative solutions if that first choice isn't on in a real game. But you also want to look at the areas in which you're winning the ball. Which defenders are doing the best, right? Which area of the field are you winning the ball in the most, so you can kind of get used to really buckling down in that area, because obviously your team's providing good pressure if you're constantly closing down passing lanes, not giving the opponent an option, and winning the ball there. And I wanted to show you an example of another. Same exact run, but the cutback pass, you see it's not on because the defender was there to intercept it before Jackson, my striker, could finish it on the one time. So I slow it down, I take a look. Obviously, I have the option of dribbling and finishing the ball off there, most likely with a finesse shot, left-footed finesse shot. I know Savio is left-footed. He's meant to cut in, and that cut-in shot was on. So what do I want to do in a real game? Look for, is my striker in good position, or is the center back or any defender in a better position where they're most likely going to intercept? If he's open, obviously keep driving the line, play that ball for the one-time finish. If he's not open, like on this particular example, I would look to cut the ball back on a dribble, right? Then finish it off with a finesse shot. So the more information like this that I gather, the better I'm going to do in game. It's as simple as that. You just have to be as detailed as possible and then retain this information and keep working on it, right? Don't just do this once. Do it as many times as it takes to where you feel like you've mastered the formation, mastered the tactical setup, to where you know what players are going to be in what positions, where maybe you make some subs and they have some different tendencies and you remember those tendencies as well. You know the exact area to start applying pressure so you win the ball defensively, and then you know the exact pass you're going to make to start your build-up. Things like that. The more you put into it, just like anything in life, the more you're going to get out of it.